Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a bag of new makeup. This is stuff that has come into me through PR in the last probably 6 weeks, and I feel like I have a full face. So we're gonna try everything. One of these things, maybe two of these things I've tried before, but very, like, I wanna do a full, like, let's put it on now and see how it looks in a few hours. We're gonna talk base first. I have got an SPF and a little bit of moisturizer, but I have this Maybelline Grippy Serum. So this is a makeup grip primer, but it says it has niacinamide in it, which is interesting. The fact that it's like a primer serum. I am interested in this. I'm also gonna try a new foundation, which I think I did this in a live, and I wore it to work one time, but I really wasn't impressed. In theory, I love the idea of it. And when I talked about it before, someone pointed out that it's very similar to an old Benefit one that I loved. Do you remember the Hello Happy? It came in a little, they had multiples of the Hello Happy, but the one I loved was in the little square, oh, I can feel the grippiness. It was in a little square bottle, like a plastic bottle with a pink lid. And it was it was like silicone-y, so it would just like glide over the skin. And I loved the way that it looked on my skin, but these days my skin is a little bit dry from using, probably from using my tretinoin. I do tend to have like the occasional dry patches around here, and that is what I'm struggling with this particular foundation. So we'll see what it looks like today. Also, we'll see what it looks like. Oh, this is sticky. We'll see what it looks like with this primer. This might be a terrible thing to try at the same time because it is sticky. I've never tried one of these primers before. Right, so that was the Maybelline primer. This is the Lancome Fresh Glow Tinted Serum in 12N. It says lightweight, buildable coverage. So again, in theory, this is exactly right up my street. It is the same packaging. I can't get the lid off. Oh, I just splattered foundation everywhere. Okay. Well, you know, don't do what I did and try to, hopefully I didn't get it on the walls, try to open this when you've got grippy primer on your hands. It's got the same packaging, the same opening, the same nozzle as that Urban Decay, because Urban Decay and Lancome are owned by the same company, L'Oreal. It is very, very thin. And if you know anything about me, you know I like a lightweight coverage. I like it to look like skin. And so in theory, this is right up my street, and it is. I mean, it's a little bit dark for me, but that's a separate issue. I'm gonna put it on with a brush. I was gonna put it on with my hands, but because of this primer, I feel like a brush is gonna be a better situation. I'm gonna do a half a face like we used to do back in the olden days of makeup reviews. I miss those days sometimes. Sometimes, not when I'm trying to not buy new things. Like recently, I've been allowing myself to look at new beauty stuff because we're like more than halfway through my low buy year, and I've really kind of just been out of touch with all of the new releases and what is happening. And I just thought I'm just gonna kind of have a little look. And it is exciting. Newness is exciting. It's exciting to see what new stuff is available. And I do sometimes think, oh, I wish I could just buy a ton of stuff and like review it and it would be so much fun. But at the same time, that's not really, it didn't fill me up. It didn't make me feel good to have all of those things. And then when it came to do my makeup, I felt overwhelmed because there were so many products. It's not realistic. But I do miss those days of Foundation Friday. Let's review a new foundation every week. I have to be multiple times a week to keep up these days. Right, already, I can see it there. It's gathering. All of the areas of dryness, this is immediately collecting here. This may not be a let's see how it looks later, because I have places to be. We might give this like a couple of hours max. I may be going to where, oh, I can't deal with this nozzle. I may be going to where I'm going makeup free at this rate, because this is not necessarily the vibe. Maybe it would be better, do you know what, I'm gonna use a sponge. Maybe it would be better with a sponge because then I'm not moving it around. I'm not like dragging it, I would be just placing it. We'll see, we'll see. We'll give it a fair shot and see if this makes any difference at all. I mean, it does tend to be a slightly more natural coverage with a sponge, so that definitely looks better on that side There's none of the gathering, but I don't know whether or not that's because I randomly have dryness on this side that I don't have on the other side. I'm going to try and build it up a little bit and see if I can disguise that. Oh my God. I swear, the first time I used this, I didn't have so much trouble with the lid and the whole closing situation, but for some reason, this definitely feels like the kind of product that works best with your hands or a sponge. Although it is still doing the thing here. On my skin that is good, it looks great. It's so frustrating because in theory, I love this product. But if you have even a little bit of dryness, or maybe you've got like the fine lines that you don't want it to settle into, I just don't know whether or not this is going to be for you. But it's so annoying because in theory, it is made for people like that who want a lighter coverage. We want it to look more natural. But the thinness of the product it's gonna settle. Moving on, I have this Lumi Glotion from L'Oreal. I've got this in a few different colours, but the reason I picked the medium, which is kind of too deep for me, is it's the only thing I'm gonna use as blush, I believe. I don't think I've got anything else. No, this is the only thing. So I was watching something the other day that was saying 2025. Is it 2025? I keep thinking we're in 2026 already. In 2025, like blush is out. And I'm like, well, blush is not out for me. But apparently it's all about the cloud skin. So not the glowy, the glossy, the glass skin. It's the cloud skin, like semi-matte. And we want just a little bit of a hint of glow and slightly bronzy blush. No contour, nothing like high contrast. I'm like, okay. So maybe I start using this as kind of a bronzer highlight hybrid. I know some people put this all over their face, but that's not for me. But I like that, right? That's actually nice. So as its own like solo product, I think I would use that more than if I was using that and then adding bronzer and adding blush on top. I think that on my fair skin looks pretty nice. Okay, I think we're going, this side of my face is doing well so far. I got some new Bobbi Brown long wear cream shadow sticks. I've tried a couple of them. I haven't tried this one yet. This is Cappuccino. I felt like when I swatched them, this would be the perfect all over lid color because I'm really into like a just wash of color on the lid. Can you even see that on my lid? A wash of color on the lid. And then I like to do a smudge of eyeliner, which I'm not going to do today because I don't have a new one to try. And this is 100% new stuff. The problem I had in the past with these Bobbi Brown sticks is I didn't feel like they lasted very long. And I can't imagine that that's improved. So if I do wear them, I like to wear some kind of primer underneath. But maybe that sticky primer that I did put everywhere could do the job. I really do like that. It literally adds a shadow. A little bit of something, and then if I did a bit of a smudge of dark brown eyeliner, I like that a lot. That was another thing I heard. No more eyeshadow in 2025. Let's just give this mascara the best shot I can. I have not found a new mascara that I like. I mean, in fairness, I haven't tried a lot, but every one that I have tried in the past probably 4 or 5 years has not lived up to the Lancome Lash Idole. Prior to that, I think it was about 10 years for the Maybelline Lash Sensational. That was the best of the best of the best. The Lancome then won, but I've heard a lot of good things about this. This is the Maybelline what is it called? Colossal Bubble. Why is it not called Colossal Bubble? Colossal Bubble. Really? Not Colossal Bubble. Okay. So it's the Colossal Bubble. Ooh. Immediately, it's a very wet formula. Oh, I like that though. Oh, we're zooming in for the next eye. This feels very like, do you remember makeup videos? Right, are you ready for this? I'm not the best at applying mascara, but that is nice. It's very lightweight, but it really is coating my lashes. I feel like it's, not to go grippy again, but it is gripping the lashes and it is coating them, which is something I find is difficult. Like, so many mascaras are either really, really clumpy. This is not, look at that. And I have rubbish eyelashes. They're either really, really clumpy or way too thin, don't do anything at all. Obviously, I should have taken before and after pictures. When I used to be a blogger, I would have. I used to be better at this. But that one, that just doesn't want to, those two eyelashes don't want to live together. They just want to be apart. So we're going to just let them. But this eye's working with me. Wow. Builds really nicely as well. I'm going to be interested to see if this smudges, because if it doesn't, this is a serious contender and I did not expect that. I'll tell you something else I really liked about this. When I closed it, can you hear that? It clicked. That's nice because it's so easy for it to not, like, it's obviously a very wet formula. And if it dries out, that's going to be a problem. Okay, last thing. Well, not almost last thing. Last thing, I've got a little hydrating mist, which I'm going to put on last because I'm not going to do any kind of powder or anything. So I thought, why not just go whole hog and do a hydrating mist instead? I've got these Lancome. These seem to be like their new answer to the juicy tubes of our youth. I think I'm going to go with the cleary kind of shade. Number 33 and number 10. I don't know what the actual colour names are. I've got a dark one as well, but I'm not hugely keen on that one. This I've been using a lot, but I feel like with this colour, this is an almost clear lip gloss vibe, right? This is such a nice formula. It really reminds me of something. And when I said that the other day, someone asked me if it was the Urban Decay. And I think it is. The smell and the taste, if you will, it really does remind me of the Urban Decay. Oh, I forget what they were called. They were in a tube and they had kind of like a funky lid. And you used to squeeze a squeezy tube one. And it smelled exactly like this. It's a very sweet mint. It feels like you can feel it on your mouth. It's like a thick formula, but it's not sticky. Very, very comfortable. And it feels kind of balmy. It's got that, it's not glossy. It's a sheen. Again, balmy rather than shiny, which I prefer, and I feel like it's one of those, it doesn't get like caught in your hair. Not that I've got a tremendous amount of hair to get caught up these days, but I feel like this is my preference in terms of like lip gloss formula, and it reminds me so much of that one from Urban Decay. So this is this. Really loving everything, all but for a little bit of an issue with the foundation. I am going to come back to you in a little bit and show you how it's wearing. First of all, I'm going to put this on. This is the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist Hyaluronic Acid and Oat. I don't know whether or not this is really suitable to go over the top. Close eyes, mist all over face. It doesn't say anything about makeup, but I don't care. Even a little bit. My skin is dry at the moment. It needs all the help it can get. But also this is a new product that I'm trying out. I wonder if that's going to mess with the mascara. Time will tell. It feels nice. Smells good. I'm excited to take this away with me next week. Okay, here are the things that I'm looking out for. How the foundation wears, whether or not it's worse, whether or not it's gathering and like settling and all of the things I'm not wanting. The mascara, whether or not that's going to end up smudging and clumping, crumbling. If it doesn't, I swear to God. And this one, I mean, I would probably give this a real good shot. I'm going to wear this a few more times regardless because this has a lot of potential. That's pretty much it because everything else is pretty basic. I suppose I want to see whether or not the cream stick on my eyes creases at all, but again, there's not a tremendous amount of colour there and I'm not expecting it to last a long time. This is all pretty natural makeup. I really want to see whether or not the foundation holds and how that mascara is because they are the two products that, of everything I've used, I'm like, we could really make or break in a few hours. Right, we are 5 hours later. I'm going to give you some before photos in daylight now, and then I'm going to go with my mirror to really inspect, because it's one thing to like be filming it, but it's another thing to really like, you know, get up close with it as I'm filming it. It's kind of difficult to do. Right, do you know what? I don't think this is worse than when we started. You can see, I can see, hopefully you can see, how on this side it settled in around my nose, into my pores, all the dryness on my chin, but you can definitely see a divide. Hopefully I'm getting this in the right light. I can see a very specific divide, this side versus this side, because this side it seems to have clung to the dryness much worse. This side, I think this side looks pretty good. I do. Okay, so the first time I used that foundation, I did use a brush. Or maybe I used my fingers. I can't remember. I definitely didn't use a sponge. And I kind of wrote it off, honestly. But looking at it now, you can see what a massive, massive difference. Applying it straight away, but definitely wear time as well on application. So, you know, you live, you learn. Now mascara. I can see already that has smudged under my eye. But like I said, under his eye. Under my eye, I can see that it's smudged. But I've been making candles. I've been labeling candles. I've been kind of, you know, messing around, probably touching my face. I haven't been mindful of wearing makeup. So I am going to give it another shot. It hasn't smudged too badly on my upper, like it's not on my brow, which is the thing that I was most concerned about. It's not crumbled underneath my eyes. It just has that little smudge under my eye, which is, you know, not ideal, but it's not bad. Also, I don't think that that's creased. You know, the Bobbi Brown Shade Stick, I think that's lasted pretty well as well. Overall, I think that was a really good wear test. Do you know, maybe I've been blessed by the makeup gods because they know I've taken a little time away. I've been, you know, I've fallen out of love with this a little bit, and I needed some good, positive vibes because I'm feeling really good about this. You tell me, the foundation for sure, I'm definitely going to be, I mean, even I feel like my lashes still look lifted. That's a big deal. Okay, you're going to hear more about this foundation from me for sure. I won't be taking it away with me. I'm not there yet, but I'm not writing it off. Same with the mascara. If you've tried any of these products, please let me know how you found them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!